I joined the Mafia to 1000G, the old country. What's up, Jupiter here with another 1000G platinum video. And in this video, we are going through the 1000G that I got for Mafia, the old country. Mafia, the old country is set in 1900 Sicily. It's the fourth main entry in the Mafia franchise and the fifth game overall as a prequel to the series, taking place decades before the events of the first game. Now, I've not actually played any of the other Mafia titles, but as I was going to Sicily this summer, I decided to pick it up and give it a go. With 50 achievements to get overall, let's get straight into the video. So we started off by starting a new game, and knowing that I had to get an achievement for completing the whole game on the hardest difficulty, I decided to not waste any time and choose the hard difficulty straight away. Spoiler alert, it's not actually too difficult. We enter the story meeting our main protagonist of the game, Enzo, and he is a Sicilian mine worker. I won't go into too much detail about the story mode as to minimize spoilers, but essentially you get an achievement for completing every single chapter of the game, from the prologue to chapter 14, as well as an achievement for completing the game on any difficulty, an achievement for completing the game on hard difficulty. Throughout my first playthrough, I did unlock the Protected achievement by equipping a charm, the Volpe Misteriosa achievement for finding a mystery fox, the Bona Fortuna achievement for finding a Trinacria coin. We also picked up the Full Steam Ahead achievement for beating the train, and picked up the Fastest Man in Sicily for completing the car race in under 8 minutes. We also got Read All About It for finding our first newspaper, and when we had to reach the foreman's office, we did this super stealthily and picked up the Old Ways achievement for reaching the foreman's office without alerting the enemies. One of the weapons we happened to use quite a lot during the story mode was the Lupara, so we picked up the Rare Weapons Expert Lupara achievement for killing 20 enemies with a Lupara. Being the pinpoint accuracy demon I am, I unlocked the Cold Blooded achievement for performing 30 headshots. Whilst escaping the Tonara, I picked up the Trail of Destruction achievement for eliminating 10 cars while escaping the Tonara, and this one's pretty difficult to miss, especially if you're playing on hard difficulty, as you sort of need to do this just to survive the level. We also picked up another Rare Weapons Expert achievement for the Repeater by killing 20 enemies with a Repeater, as well as the Rare Weapons Expert for the Precisione, killing 20 enemies with a Precisione. Not to mention the Rare Weapons Expert for the Pump Action, killing 20 enemies with a Pump Action shotgun. So we managed to pick up quite a few achievements in our first playthrough of the game, but this still left us plenty to do afterwards by going back either in free roam or mission select to pick up the rest of the achievements. The first one I did is a super easy one, riding in style. Went to a stables and customized a horse. We then went back to chapter 5 and we completed the Phantasma achievement by infiltrating the villa without being seen. I just went back and did this on easy difficulty as you're less likely to be seen by the enemies, so it makes it a lot easier. In a similar style, we picked up the Silent Hunter achievement for killing Mazzone without alerting his men, again being super stealthy and doing this on easy difficulty to make it even easier. One thing I can't believe I actually missed in the story, as I did the majority, probably all but this one, of the optional objectives, was Garden Rendezvous from chapter 3, where you just have to complete the side mission to meet Isabella in the garden, and this unlocked the Garden Rendezvous achievement. We also then went back and picked up the Vendetti Rare Weapons Expert achievement for killing 20 enemies with a Vendetti, and the Not So Fast achievement by killing Caccini before he reaches the Salt Flats. This one's pretty simple. All you got to do is destroy his car before you sort of go around and eventually meet him, and this stops him driving off and makes this achievement super easy. Again, doing this on easy difficulty to get it done quickly. Similar to the Rare Weapon Expert achievement, we also picked up the Secret Assassin achievement where I needed to kill 20 enemies with a knife takedown, and then as another Rare Weapons Expert achievement, we picked this up for the Modelo, killing 20 enemies with the Modelo C96. For all of the Rare Weapons Expert achievements, you've just got to make sure you're using that weapon. Sometimes it's fairly difficult to see which weapon you're using when picking it up off the floor, because it doesn't tell you which one you're picking up, or just when you're using it, 'cause it doesn't tell you what weapon you're using. The way that I found to do this the easiest was just to go through and pick your weapon manually, either at the beginning of most missions, at your apartment, or in the cellar of Villa Teresi. We then also picked up the Bombast Away achievement for killing 10 enemies with explosives, just by throwing a grenade at enemies. This doesn't need to be done in one go or anything. You can just pick this up by chipping it away, getting one kill at a time. And then going back to chapter 5 again, we picked up the Man of Honor achievement where we refused Tino's order to kill in cold blood. What happens? Tino actually gets annoyed at you. He clearly doesn't like us. And if you refuse his order to kill, then he will just kill you instead. This will mean you have to replay the checkpoint, but it will unlock the Man of Honor achievement. One that took a little bit more time to get was the Finer Things achievement where we needed to buy all available cars from Pasquale. The main barrier with this is just getting enough denarii, and we figured out a quick farming method in chapter 8 to get this done efficiently. And then we just went and bought all the cars and the achievement popped. On a similar wavelength, we picked up the Driving in Style achievement for customizing a car. We actually had to go into Pasquale's store and buy the paint pot before we were able to complete this in the garage. And then we drove at over 120 kilometers an hour for at least 15 seconds to pick up the Getaway Driver achievement. Obviously easiest to do in the fastest car with the best handling. And then whilst we had the car out, we just destroyed it by either shooting it, throwing a grenade at it, or crashing it into walls. And then you can fix the broken vehicle by using the crank. There's a small mini game where you'll need to tap A or X if you're on PlayStation in time to fix the broken vehicle. And this picked us up the Good as New achievement. Again with the car, we found a spot to jump the car over 40 meters, earning us the Daredevil achievement. Another one that takes a little bit more concentrated effort is Live by the Blade, where we need to perform special actions 5 times with each knife. We went back to chapter 5 as infiltrating the villa is a very good place to farm these, and there's 2 different types of special actions. One is throwing the knife, and one is performing knife takedowns during combat. There are certain knives which have these abilities, so make sure they're equipped and then get these done. And we unlocked the Live by the Blade achievement. We then headed back to chapter 14 where we defeated Don Torrisi again, but this time we stuck it on easy difficulty and we did it without taking a single hit to unlock the Worthy Opponent achievement. Might take a few goes, but it's fairly easy to get as there are 3 checkpoints throughout the fight, and as you get to each of these checkpoints, it saves your progress. So if you do take a hit from Don Torrisi, you can reload the checkpoint and you will be halfway through the fight rather than having to start the whole fight again. We were then left with 3 achievements, getting all the collectibles, which gave us 2 separate achievements, and also unlocking a safe without a combination, which we did try to get earlier on, but I'll explain why I left this one till the end in a minute. So we went around getting all the collectibles. This includes the Mystery Foxes, which will get you the Mystery Fox Nomination achievement, and also newspapers, Saints cards, and photographs. And all of the collectibles together will unlock you the Collector achievement. Some of these are quite tricky to find, so if you want to do this super streamlined, I do have a guide available where I go through all of the collectibles in a logical order where you don't waste too much time traveling across the map. So there'll be a link in the description for that if you're interested. So then we had one more achievement to get, and the reason I left this one till last is because when you find the combination for a safe, it saves it in the game's memory, and you cannot go back and replay the chapter to pick this achievement up, as the game still remembers that you picked it up at some point while playing. So because I picked up all the clues for all of the safes, I had to then start a new game completely, and the reason I left this till last is I didn't want this to mess up any of my collectibles, so I just wanted to get those out the way first. But now this was the only one I had left to get. Doesn't matter if my whole entire game got erased. So we started a new game, we did a proper speed run where we skipped through all of the cutscenes, played on easy, and just ran as far as we could to get this done as quick as possible. In Chapter 3, you will come across your first safe. You're collecting money with Luca and Cesare, and when you get to the lemon farm, you'll have a little bit of a conflict where you point a gun at the man and his son, and he'll eventually tell you to go into the back room to get the money out of the safe. When you get to the safe, the combination is 10, 20, 30, so you don't need to pick up the clue, and this will cause the Salvador's Apprentice achievement to unlock by cracking a safe without a combination. So that was it, the 1000G on Mafia the Old Country. Very linear story mode game, which is very enjoyable if you just want to kick back, relax, and enjoy a story mode game. The open world is pretty good as well. Apart from the collectibles, there's not too much extra to do, and we actually picked up this 1000G Platinum Trophy relatively quickly. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like if you did, and subscribe for future 1000G and Platinum videos, as well as in-depth achievement and trophy guides. See you in the next one.